Hey kids, how's everybody out there in YouTube land this evening, huh? What a beautiful night it is too. What a beautiful evening shaping up. Oh man. So as you can see, we are once again out on deck. Sorry for the wind noise. If it gets too bad, let me know and I'll try to reposition the camera phone. But beautiful sunny day here in Marathon, Florida. Been chilly all day today. Had a high of like 65 or so. Been pretty cool, pretty cold out. I have to giggle at all these Floridians. They're all running around in long pants and socks and shoes and winter coats on and wool caps pulled down over their head. I even saw somebody with ear muffs. So 25 degrees there. Yeah, Alexander, that's real cold, 25. Yeah, 64 degrees here. It's snowing, huh? Well, it's not snowing here, man. This is what it looks like here in Marathon, Florida. Oh, there's the dog. This is what it looks like here. Beautiful, bright, sunny day. It's been pretty breezy, been pretty windy. Everyone's been wrapped up and bundled up. I took the dog for a walk this morning. I had on just a pair of shorts and a t-shirt. And people were looking at me like I was weird. But, you know, hey, last 8 years I've been up in Alaska. So I just kind of, you know, I think of 65 degrees as t-shirt weather. Anyhow, we're up on deck here once again, looking forward to a beautiful sunset. I think we're going to have a good one this evening. Chilly one, but a good one. Breeze is blowing pretty good. Like I said, if the wind noise gets too bad in the microphone, make a mention in the comments and I'll try to reposition to get into a better spot. But good day today. Took the dog for a walk. Came back to the boat and had myself a nice breakfast. Made myself a skillet of potatoes with some bacon and onions. That was nice for breakfast. Haven't had that in a long time. And yeah, Pilot, thank you for that, man. Yeah, 4,000 subs. I topped 4,000 subscribers today. Pretty cool, pretty cool. And you know, of course, I recognize that a large number of those were paid subscribers. Some troll idiot went out and bought subscribers for me one day. So that's not really an accurate depiction. I don't remember exactly how many they bought, 500, maybe 1,000 or so. I don't remember what it is, but whatever. It messed up all my accounting. I was kind of tracking my channel growth, and but I will say this: the channel growth is back on track. I picked up 50 subscribers this month alone, and for the first time, it's not, you know, a bunch of the trash people with 10 different identities subscribing. It's people legitimately subscribing to the channel. I can see the subscribers' names and stuff. It's so I'm happy to see that we're having some growth on the channel again, and it's picking back up. So starting a whole new chapter in our life here in Buki Harbor, really am. Did not live stream the morning chat this morning. I was going to, but frankly, I just got distracted with other stuff. I was arguing with AT&T today, but as you can see, I'm back using my iPhone for doing the live stream tonight, and I'm doing it with an unlisted phone number, so nobody can mess with us anymore. And nobody knows this phone number, and no one's getting this phone number. It's staying unlisted. Oh, they're so easy to defeat. But let me jump into chat and see what I missed. Alexander talking about 25 degrees and snowing. Woodby says his long johns on. Yeah, it's very clear here. Thanks for on the subs, Pilot. I appreciate that, man. How's Earl doing? Hope you and your wife are doing fine this evening. So yeah, top 4,000 subscribers. Picked up 51 just in the last 30 days. So that's pretty good channel growth. That's good. I'm glad to see that stuff happening again. Hey, Carl, 65 degrees in Quebec. That beer and beach weather. Yeah, right? Yeah, 65 degrees up in Alaska was t-shirt weather. You know, we didn't mind that so much. I mean, of course, you know, in the summertime, it would only get to 75 or maybe 85 up there. So anyhow, beautiful, bright, sunny days. You can see by the sun shining on my cheek. Wind is coming out of the north. Wind's coming out of the north. So we're painted. We're painted. We're facing north. Sunrise and sunset, east to west. The sun's setting down over here off to the port side. And so we'll be able to turn the camera and watch some of that here once it gets down a little lower. Right now it'd be a little too bright. Wouldn't see very much. Anyhow, so I got my breakfast done this morning and got my stuff together. I had completed a part 2 of a big marketing mailer that I was doing, and used up every stamp in the house, in the boat. So I was on my way to go to the post office to mail some stuff. And my buddy Lee pulls up alongside of me and offered me a lift. And here I had Miss Lily with you. I'm like, I'm walking the dog. He said, that's all right, come on. So he was kind enough to give me a ride over to the post office and back, which was kind of nice. He's a nice guy. So let me pee. What are you going on about? Go back to are you getting snow this week? Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. I get it now. Yep. Don't be wishing that white plague on him. He doesn't want any of that stuff, and I don't blame him. I don't blame him a bit. So, hey Morgan, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you. So anyhow, I got to the post office, got my mailer done, got back here to the boat, and then spent the rest of the day arguing with AT&T on SIM cards. So here's the thing, and this is why I was bringing this up, because it was interesting. When I have my iPhone, okay? This is my old iPhone. It works. It works just perfectly. It's just old and the back's cracked, so I got a piece of tape on there, covered it. So I called up AT&T and I said, look, I have this old iPhone. It's got a card in it, a SIM card, and I just want to change the phone number from this phone to my iPhone 7, from my iPhone 7 to this phone. And they said, well, the way they have to do that is they have to send me a new SIM card. New SIM cards for both phones. They have to be pre-assigned, I guess, before they ship them to you. I was like, okay. So send me a SIM card. So she said, okay, she's gonna send me a SIM card. Then she said, well, if there's an AT&T store nearby, because the SIM card was going to take like 5-6 days to get here. She said, if there's an AT&T store nearby, go to the AT&T store and pick it up from them. I was like, okay, so I ran over to the AT&T store. Turns out here in Marathon, Florida, the AT&T store is not a AT&T store. It's a secondary retailer for AT&T. It's not a corporate store, it's an independent store. So they could give me the SIM card, but they couldn't activate it. I had to call AT&T in order to activate it. All right, so I walked back here to the dock. I got my dinghy, came the dinghy back to the boat, got on the boat, called them up. And for some reason, for whatever reason, they couldn't activate, the girl I was talking to, couldn't activate that SIM card that I got from AT&T. Now, the phone already had a SIM card in it. They couldn't activate the existing SIM card, even though we knew what number it was, and we had all of its ID and stuff. CCID number and I don't know, whatever. And the card that I went over and got from them, for some reason they couldn't activate that one, so now I had to wait for the cards to get here. Okay. So I waited for their card to get here, put it in the phone, had to call them, and we got the new phone number assigned and it was put into the iPhone 4. Fine. But then I said, well, what I wanted to do is I wanted to take the phone number from this phone and put it in that phone, and I wanted the phone number from that phone put into this phone, so I could maintain my old phone line, but I would have a phone number that I could use for doing live streams that the troll idiots can't keep, you know, junk calling and interfering with our live streams. Well, apparently that was like a whole big deal for them to do, so they had to send me new SIM cards again. Like, okay, send me new SIM cards. So today the 2 SIM cards come. One SIM card is the correct SIM card for the iPhone 7. The other SIM card was about 4 times the size of the SIM card that goes in the iPhone 4. I don't know, it was like the size of a Fritos corn chip. I was like, that SIM card's not going to fit the phone. It's not the right card. And so I got bounced around from person to person. I finally got over to a department because I was pretty irate at that point with all this runaround. And I spoke with another person, and she was able to take the SIM card that was already in the phone Mind you, there was a SIM card in the phone when the whole ordeal started. She was able to take the SIM card that was in this phone and get it to work with the old phone number. Why the hell couldn't they have done that in the first place? She said it was some sort of a big security issue, that normally they don't do that. From a security standpoint, they don't do that. They want to send you a new SIM card. I don't know. That actually pissed me off even further. But the good news is they finally got it all done today. My old number, so when the trolls call on the old phone number, it now rings on this phone, which I could ignore. And this new number, nobody has. So we can have our live streams uninterrupted, unimpeded by, as Marie, my friend Marie likes to call them, the trash people. So ends another chapter in their harassment. Good. Anyhow, let me see what I missed in the chat. So Morgan's here. Great, Morgan. Good to see you. Hi, Morgan. Hopefully you got that. Yep, I did. Okay, good, man. Hey, Bill, how you doing? I have T-Mobile here in Florida. I'm very happy with them. Okay. Hey, Fish Tropic, what's up? Okay. T-Mobile. Yeah. I don't know. I'll have to look into that. Because I was so irate with AT&T today. I was thinking about trying to go to somebody else. I really am. They done ticked me off. And in I think I've got 2 payments left on my iPad, or 1 payment now. I think I've got 1 payment left on my iPad, and it's free and clear. Of course, just about the time that it's antiquated. But there's a Coast Guard cruising through the harbor. They have a little tiny boat here. They're going through in their little tiny boat. Anyhow, so that was our excitement for today. Nothing really new or exciting went on the cruiser's net. Nothing really exciting news-wise there, one way or the other. The sun's working on getting down. It's still pretty bright though, Woodbeast. It's still pretty bright. Let me change this around so you can see. See, it's still kind of bright. Hurts my eyes just looking at it. So we won't look at it for a minute. We'll let it get down a little bit. Let it at least get down past, halfway down the mangrove or something before we look that way. So, oh gosh, I'm sorry guys. Tired. Man, I slept last night too. It was cold. Had the blankets all up, nice, warm, and snuggly last night. I slept like a rock. We ended the live stream. I went down and watched pretty cool little helicopter. I watched, let's see, maybe an hour's worth of TV after the live stream. So the live stream ended, what, about 6:30? So I watched TV till probably 7:30, maybe 8 o'clock, maybe 8 o'clock. Anyhow, by 8 o'clock, I was in bed last night. I was tired. And I didn't wake up till 7:15 today. I really snoozed last night. I don't know, and I'm yawning already. Oh, Lord. Sorry about that. We're yawning already, so hopefully I'll get a really good night's sleep again this evening. I don't know. I do think I possibly may have worked out a deal for myself for a vehicle to borrow from time to time. One of my neighbors here that I've been helping out quite a bit, turns out they have a car, they have a truck actually, a pickup truck, and so I'm gonna talk to them a bit more about letting me have access to it. I think we'll be able to work something out, have some part-time access to that. So that'd be great. So when I go out on a real estate call or something, I got something to drive. Kind of weird showing up to a house when I'm trying to do a listing presentation and I'm in a taxi cab. Not working. You do what you got to do. You got to do what you got to do. But oh, dog, what? Oh, hi there. What do you want? Huh? What do you want? You can knock my beer over. Get down. She's wagging her tail, and her tail is hitting the beer bottle over there. I'm afraid she's gonna knock it over, and we can't have that. So, cheers. Some more of those Heinekens that my buddy Bob left me. Good guy, Bob. Good guy. There's some folks coming in the dinghy. Look at this. Just like I told you guys. Look at this. Winter coach sun. See the folks coming in the dinghy? I don't know how close they're going to get. But you notice he's got winter coats on. Oh, I think that's the neighbor that's got the trawler there. Hey, maybe we can find out what the price of it is. Anyhow, let them get up on deck. They're still in their dinghy there, and I'll shout over to them. Oh. Hey Andy, what's up, man? Good to see you here. Thanks Woodbeast for putting my PayPal up there. Appreciate it. Very good of you to do that. It sounded like a P-51 to me. No, it was just a weird looking, kind of a weird looking helicopter went overhead. So, I like beer. Yep. Very windy day here. Very windy. Been blowing 10 to 20 all day today. What are they going to do when it actually gets cold? Yeah, right. Well, I guess they're not getting on. They're looking at it. Let me turn you around. They're kind of looking at it. Oh, looks like they're getting ready to get on. Howdy, neighbors. What do you say, neighbors? How you doing? Hey, one of my viewers was wondering how much you were selling that for. One more time? How much? 65,000. Okay, I'll let them know. Cool. Thank you. Well, there you go. So that's the Shucker 40 something is 65,000 for that boat. Nice boat. Nice boat. Wind gen up on the roof, solar panels up on the roof. Looks like it's got a Hank on headset. Roller furling. Oh, no roller furling. Anyhow, there you go. Let me turn around here. Let's see what the sunset's doing, huh? There we go. There the sunset's starting to get down. Still kind of bright though. Yeah, still kind of bright. But there's what the harbor's looking like out there. You can kind of see a little bit of the harbor. Brr. Tell you what, kids, it's a little chilly out here. It's not that it's chilly, it's just that wind's blowing. Let me see if I can sit you guys down here for a second. There we go. Ah, perfect, yeah. Got you back on my tripod, so using my iPhone, I prefer doing this. This is a lot easier to deal with than messing around with my iPad. They must struggle with shrinkage under 70 degrees. Yeah, right? 3,100 snow's coming. I hope Barbara Walters does the ball drop next year. Okay. Barbara Walters still around? She's getting pretty old, isn't she? She might be past her bedtime staying up till midnight. Oh man, I remember back in the day. Oh, back in the day, New Year's, what was it? Guy Lombardo and his orchestra used to play on New Year's. Wow, that was what, back in the 70s, 60s, 70s? I remember living in New York, growing up in New York, we would watch that. Guy Lombardo also ran the orchestra down at Jones Beach Theater. I went down there and saw a couple plays, saw The King and I down there and a few other plays. It was pretty good, some Rodgers and Hammerstein stuff too, so. My nipples get hard enough, I had to put on a jacket. Ah, Bill. You get much rain? Okay, that way we can hear her say, I'm Barbara Walters and this is 20. Oh, I get it, okay. Yeah, you know what, just for that reason, I guess they should do that. Yeah, hi, I'm Barbara Walters and this is 2020. I hadn't even thought about that. You're right, that would be kind of funny, wouldn't it? Huh. Yeah, I tell you, it's a little chilly up on deck here in that breeze. I've been down below in the cabin all day today, working on editing and working on the computers. It's a little chilly up here, man. Oh, brr. Maybe I should get a coat. I actually have long pants on, but oh well. Really wouldn't be too cold if it wasn't for that breeze. That wind blowing kind of makes it kind of chilly. So, oh, what's new and exciting going on in the harbor? Not a whole lot, actually. They played softball today. I didn't get in on that. The Celtic Festival is this weekend here in the park. So they're setting up for the Celtic Festival. I did a live stream this morning with Miss Lily. Thanks, Pilot. Appreciate you taking out the trash for us. Anyhow, you could see them setting up. They were putting up tents and stuff already. That's going to be happening this weekend, the Celtic Festival. I guess they're supposed to have some good Celtic bands playing and stuff, so that'll be kind of interesting for those of you guys of Irish heritage and like that kind of thing. I am part Irish, Scottish, English, German, so I like that kind of thing, but I really wasn't. Can I help you? Thank you. Appreciate the doggy kiss. Anyhow, so I wasn't planning on going over it. Admission is $10 and I just didn't really want to do that. And I was talking with a friend of mine today and he went ahead and sent me $20 and said, here, go to the Celtic Festival. And I was like, no, I don't want to go to the Celtic Festival. He said, well, you use the money for whatever you want to then. But yeah, right, wear a kilt. That's what I should do. I should show up over there in a kilt. So, you know, it would be, it's funny, they actually make, oh, what's the name of the company? There's a company that actually makes a kilt designed for carpenters. It's got, you know, all the pockets and stuff in it that you know, like a carpenter's work apron would be. There's a place to hang a hammer and pockets for nails and stuff. And but yet it's a work kilt. It's a kilt, but it's designed for a working man. So I always thought it'd be fun to get one of those things. Only problem is I think my daughter would have been a little embarrassed if I was up working on a ladder. Because of course, you know, you ladies may not know this, but when you wear a kilt, you wear nothing underneath it. That's the way they were designed to be worn. So there's a little TMI for you. Anyhow, there's a visual that you probably could have avoided. So what I think a fat bastard from Austin Powers. There you go. I don't know, man. I don't know. Cheers, guys. Oh, let's see what else is new and exciting. Well, the community garden is doing really nice. You're putting up a lot of herbs. They're getting a lot of herbs and stuff. I was actually thinking it'd be nice to have a plant on board the boat or two. I'd really like to have a little herb garden. I have no idea where I would put it. And I'd like to get a little hanging basket. When I was up in Alaska, I had a variety of those little grape-sized tomatoes. It was in a hanging plant. Designed to work out of a hanging basket, and it was putting up these little, oh, these sweet little, they were like little candies. I mean, they were tomatoes, but they were like little candies, really sweet. And I would love to have another one of those hanging baskets. We had that up there one summer in Alaska, and I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I've never been able to find them again. So anyhow, let's check in on that sunset. It looks like we're getting a little bit of color and stuff going on now. There we go. There's a little bit of the sunset. Yeah, it was a little cherry tomato. I mean, it was a little a little red cherry tomato, but they were just super sweet. A little, somewhat pear-shaped, actually, not the round ones. They were somewhat pear-shaped. But I've never been able to find another hanging basket with that variety. I don't know what the variety was. I wish I knew the variety. I would try to buy them. Obviously, it was some sort of a plant that worked well in a hanging basket, so. Oh, there we go, man. There's the sunset. And what I miss in the chat? Mellow tomatoes. Have you done the interview with Bill yet? No, we've been talking about it. We've got to get together and talk about it more. So figure out what we're gonna do. Average water temp this time of year. Actually, the water temp's about what it is right now. It's about 65 degrees, 65, 68 degrees in the water here in the bay. That's about what the water temperature is here. So today the air is actually colder than the water. You would be warmer to get in the water than to be up on deck. But of course, coming up on deck all wet would be kind of chilly. So there we go. We're getting some nice color developing there. I like the reflection off the clouds. I don't know how well you guys can see that. Getting a little sunlight reflecting off the cloud looks kind of pretty. Lily, what are you doing? And of course, there's the moon. Where's the moon? Can't even hardly see it. It's right there. Can't even hardly see it in my phone. There's so little of it left. Just a little sliver of a moon. But anyhow, yeah, the sun's setting. Looks like the clouds are on fire over there. Kind of cool looking. I don't hear a conch horn yet, huh? I expect to hear some conch horns. I don't know, kind of windy and cold. Everybody may be staying down below. Not your typical nice warm evening here. There's one. Can hear one off in the distance. I wonder if I could zoom in a little bit. Oh, there we go. Now if I could just hold it steady enough. Too cold to blow a conch. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I'm not able to hold that steady enough to make of much value for that. But anyhow, so there was the sun going down, kids. Some red color in there, a little red sky at night. Sailor's delight. Going to be a good day tomorrow. No storms, no rain clouds coming in. Going to be a nice peaceful evening. So, well, let's hope tomorrow's going to be a nice peaceful day as well. And with that said, whoop, let me get that down. There we go. All right. What did I miss in the chat? Too cold to blow a conch. Place is beautiful. Yes, it is. Cool. Thanks, Morgan. It is. Okay, so that's kind of what I needed to do. Get caught up in the chat. Ugh, I'm cold, guys. My hands are cold. Just checked the water temperature. It's 64 degrees right now. It was 76 last week. So it's 64 degrees. The water temperature is 64 degrees here in the bay right now. That looks really cold, you poor man. Yeah, I know, Martin. It's rough. It's rough. I am cold, though. I mean, it's not that it's that cold, but that breeze is blowing through here up on deck, and it's chilly. It's chilly willy up here, man. Pelicans are flying overhead, egrets, stalks. Today, I know there's something I did see interesting today. I saw the head of a seagull. Not the whole seagull, just the head. Now that tells me something. Can you guys tell me what kind of a bird preys on seagulls and cuts their head off? Anybody know? Huh? This is going to be my trivia question on the net tomorrow. I saw a seagull, just the head. The body was missing. The head had been decapitated from the body. What type of bird preys on seagulls that all it does is cut the head off and then fly off with the rest of the body? It actually removed the head and 2 legs and then flew off with the rest of the body. So what kind of a bird does that? And there was another bird that harvested it. 35 degree temperature right now here in Winston, North Carolina. Osprey. Martin, no, that would be not correct. Close, and there are ospreys around here, and eagles too, but it was not an osprey. Nope, that's not who it was. For a little hint for you. Oh. 35, wow, it's cold, okay. Nobody else is gonna venture a guess, even with my hint, huh? Did you bring your parka with you from Alaska? Owl. Yes, Marie Morrissey is correct. An owl. Martin, yes, owl. It is an owl that will do that. An owl will take the head off. I've been a poultry farmer for too many years. I've had too many times I've gone out to the farmyard and found a duck head or a chicken head just laying out there with no duck and no chicken. That's an owl every time. They land on them, they bite the head off, and they fly off with the carcass and eat that back in wherever they are. So that's what an owl does. So when you find just the head, that's an owl. And good evening, Marie. Nice to see you here. So yep, so that's going to be my trivia question tomorrow for the thing. I like to watch the frigate birds. Yeah, there's a lot of them too. I was going to say angry bird. Yeah, Steve, you're right. It would be an angry bird. Did the gull say owl? No, I don't think so. I don't think the gull said very much at all. It kind of lost its head over the whole ordeal. So. Oh man, that's bad. That's bad. Bad pun. Anyhow, guys, I think I'm actually going to try to end this a little early this evening. I'm kind of chilled. I'm going to get down below. My beer's not quite over, but almost. So, actually, I tell you what, I was gonna open this up to a little Q&A today. Something a little bit different. I've not done a Q&A in a while. We don't have a big audience today, only what, 55 people watching. So I'm going to open this up to anybody. What Q&A, any kind of questions you want to ask, I will try to answer as best I can. So go ahead, shoot me with your best shot. What questions do you have for old Grandpa about life here, about the Lily 2, about what I'm doing? Go ahead and jump in on Q&A if you want, and if nobody's really interested in Q&A, then we're just going to make it an early live stream, and I'm going to go down below and get warm. I don't even have any of that rum left to warm myself up anymore, so finished that off last night. You know, I wasn't thinking last night. I ended the live stream, and I was like, I'm just going to take one more drink of that rum. I took one more drink, and that was it. That was the end of the rum, so how's the lady friend? Lady friend's fine with Beast, absolutely fine. No problems there. No problems there, and that's about as much information as I'm going to share about that. I don't mean to be curt about it, but for her protection, I'm sure you guys who are friends of mine know what I'm talking about. For her protection, we're not sharing too much information about any of my lady friends that I have here. So, body scrubbing of the Lily 2. Yeah, haven't gotten much done. I did take the scrub brush down the sides and got some of it, but I've not gotten in the water, and right now the water's going to have to warm up. We're going to have some warmer days before I'm going to jump in and clean the sides. So no, I have not gotten to the bottom scrubbing. So, you going down? All right, Kendall, go on down. Miss Lily says it's cold up here. I'm going down below, so she went down below. What's the new phone number like? What's the new phone number? It's 9 digits. I'll tell you that much. It's 9 digits. So is it what, 9? What, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 digits. Sorry, 10 digits. That's right, 10 digits. 3, 6, yeah, 4, yeah, 10 digits. So it's 10 digits. Yep, that's what it is. It's a 10-digit phone number. What are you going to do during next year's hurricane season? Get blown around probably quite a bit. I don't know. I mean, that's so far away at this point, 6, 7. I really don't know what we're going to do. Hurricane season, you know, it doesn't really start here until like June. You know, around June, hurricane season starts. June, July, somewhere in there. So we've got, you know, we've got 5, 6 months yet before we have to worry too much about hurricanes. But I don't know yet. I don't know yet. I'm hoping to be on a bigger, better boat by then, but we'll see. We'll figure that out when we get to it, but I really don't have a good answer for you. So probably a variety of even and odd numbers. Probably, yes, probably. Can you tuck away in the mangroves? I could, but I'm a firm advocate that the best defense for hurricanes is not be here. So the probability is I will leave Boot Key Harbor and go somewhere for any particular hurricane. I don't think I'm going to go away for the hurricane season. I think I'm just going to monitor the weather and any potential incoming hurricane and try to duck out of here. I mean, you know, so the key is I need to have the boat seaworthy by hurricane season. Got to make sure the engine is 100%, the rigging 100%, so that I can, on a moment's notice, duck out of here and head someplace else. avoiding and going around any potential hurricane that might be heading this way. You know, if you watch the hurricane reports, we usually know 10, 12, 14 days before one gets here that one's coming. It's not like all of a sudden one just pops up. Except for the occasional one that all of a sudden sort of changes direction, and that kind of catches you off guard. I know for the most part, like all the hurricanes that came through this year, the Florida Keys were pretty much undisturbed. There wasn't really, I mean, nobody talks about hurricane damage from this past season, but there's a lot of conversation about Armageddon. I guess that's what they call it here, Armageddon from Hurricane Irma. So if there's another Irma along the way coming through, then yeah, we've got something to deal with. But as a general rule, those only hit about once every decade down here. They're usually not too bad and survivable. So we'll have to see what happens, man. We'll have to see what happens. So, Bill says a lot of boats sailed out of the cone and returned afterwards. Yeah, and that's you know, a typical thing to do. You know, you head out of here and run down to like Rio or Panama, or you know, as I understand it, I can pretty much make Panama in 5 days from here. Or in 5 days I could be up the East Coast. So, you know, get some crew on board and then really boogie, you know, really boogie, get offshore, sail, and make some, what? What do you want? Why are you whining? You wanted down below, now you're down below. Nothing's stopping you from coming up on deck. It's up to you, dog. So that's, that would be the plan for that, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. Could be I just put the boat up on the hard and go visit the family in Ohio while a hurricane passes through. That's another option, simply just putting the boat up on the hard. But if you have a storm like Irma come through, doesn't matter whether you're in the water up on the hard, even houses were blown away. So, although it's sort of amazing to me, I've seen some really solid, you know, built construction, some really, you know, big houses that are, you know, really well-made houses get destroyed by a hurricane, and right next to it there's a 50-year-old mobile home sitting there and it was untouched. So you just have to look at these things sometimes and, you know, go figure, you know, how is it that one got destroyed and the other one didn't? It's a mystery. So, okay, so the question Martin asks is, what's the cone? If you notice when they do hurricane forecasting, they show a cone-shaped area. You know, this is where the hurricane is, and this is the cone where it is. This is the probability. It's going to go somewhere in this area is where the hurricane is moving to. So they give a projected path. The further along that projection is, the wider the cone opens up, giving them some room for error on an exact path. So, well, come on up if you want up. What are you complaining about? You're the one that went down below, not me. Anyhow, so that's what the cone is. It's the anticipated route that the hurricane's going to take. And so when they project, and they can project out 5-6 days with the cone as to where they think it's going to go, you know, it's not too hard, and you usually don't have to go too far to get outside of that cone area and away from the path of that hurricane. Not to say you're still not going to get some wind and some storms, but you're not going to get the brunt of it. You're going to move yourself away from it. And boats move, guys. I hate not to remind everybody, but boats can move. So the best defense for a hurricane is move. So, or where it could go. And that's it. It's the probability of where it's probably going to go. Not necessarily where it could go. It's really going to be a possibility of where it probably is going to go. But yeah, and the further out they get in their forecast, the wider and wider the margin of error gets, and so the wider and wider the cone gets. So, does Marina offer help for hurricanes? Not much. There's not much they can do really. So no, not really. After the hurricane, of course, they're, you know, central part for all the cleanup and stuff going on, but there's not much that they can do to help you. I used to live up north, but a cold night in Florida is rough. High humidity and cold goes to the bones, and the houses are all concrete to keep heat out. I go out and bask in the sun like a gator to warm up. Yeah, hike with Mike. There you go. I like your handle. Yeah, that's very true. Very true. A lot of people do that. Very much like reptiles and amphibians. You know, they go out and sit in the sun to warm up. So, Have you been running the engine on the Lily 2? Probably not as often as I have. I've started it a couple of times since I've been here, but I really haven't, you know, gone anywhere with it. And right now, I'm not so keen on starting it back up again. I'm getting a big leak coming out of my mixing elbow. I've really got to replace the mixing elbow on the boat, and they don't make them anymore. So I had a line on a company. I contacted them to see if they had any. They don't have any. They don't know. You know, they're like, well, you know, try to find some shop that can make one. So, but trying to get a custom mixing elbow made, that could be kind of spendy. So, be specialized stuff. For those of you guys that don't know, on my particular boat, I've got about 1.25 inch diameter pipe that comes out of the exhaust, and it comes out and then it turns and curves, and then inside of that pipe, up near the beginning, there's another pipe that intersects into it, and then there's a smaller diameter pipe inside the larger diameter pipe that mirrors the bends and the angles that this pipe has. And so what this does is the exhaust blows down the large diameter pipe, and then cooling water is injected in the smaller diameter pipe, and then right at the end of the smaller diameter pipe where it ends inside the mixing elbow, it ejects the cold water from the bay into the exhaust, cooling the exhaust down, and of course wetting it so it's easier to maintain, I guess, cleaning it somewhat. Anyhow, and then that's carried out through the exhaust pipes and out the exhaust of the boat. That's why when you start a sailboat and you run it, you want to make sure you see water kicking out the exhaust. That's water that's flowing through that mixing elbow where it's being introduced into the exhaust. Anyhow, where that water is introduced into the hot exhaust, that causes that mixing elbow to deteriorate fairly rapidly. In fact, they only last about 5 years typically. The one that's on this boat is a whole lot longer than that. I think it's the original one from 1974. Galvanized steel, so it lasted quite a long time, but now it is shot. We had a temporary patch put on when we were in the ICW back up in Virginia. That patch is no longer holding. It's just the deterioration just moved a little downstream from where the original cancer was. And so, you know, we'd have to be putting a patch on a patch on a patch. And so it's time to have a new one made. I just don't have the resources or the inclination to do that. But I'm going to have that done sometime here in the next 6 months. Sometime in the next 6 months, I need to get that done. And sometimes in the next 6 months, I have to replace my standing rigging that holds the mast up so it's secure so I can take off. So anyhow, so that's what's going on with that. So what other questions did I miss here? What is that what you had welded? Yes, that's what I had welded, pilot. Yep. The marina stored dinghy sails and motors inside the workshop. Okay, that's cool. That's good. Yeah, so they have some dry storage in there. So a lot of people that left their boats here, they would strip off their sails, and then they would put, you know, deflate their dinghies, take their sails, their dinghies, or outboard motors for their dinghies and stuff, put them all inside the shops here at the marina. Of course, the water gets up high enough, it's going to take the shops out too, but didn't. But surprisingly, it didn't even tear the roof off the tiki hut, which I found really amazing. It just goes to show you how those old style, you know, braided palm frond roofing systems, you know, the grass roofs really work and hold up nicely. So we don't get hurricanes up here, but nasty storms last week. We had 87 mile an hour winds. Well, Martin, that's pretty much hurricane speed. So 87 miles an hour is just not a little light breeze. That's hurricane gust winds there. So, all right. Well, listen, guys, I'm really getting chilled here. So I'm going to go ahead and end this evening. It'll be about 15 degrees warmer tomorrow, I understand. So we'll be able to continue and go from that. So is there a diaphragm on the part someplace, or just use the current one for specs? Yeah, Marie, there's no diagrams that I've seen of any of those parts. So we have to use the current one as and just have somebody copy it. So I'm gonna have to find a local welding shop or somebody who can do that, or a fabricator who can make that. But it's pretty specialized because it has to be a pipe inside of a pipe, and you know, and it's got to be welded. You know, they got to drill a hole and then bend the pipe to meet all the curves and structures inside. And I mean, it's not easy, so it's going to take somebody who's got some skills to do that. Palapas are great for storms, designed to breathe. Huh, okay. Palapas. Huh. Anyhow, kids, I'm going to go ahead and end this here because I'm getting chilled. We'll have more for you later, kids. Be good, be careful, take good care of one another. Remember, in the description down below, there's a link to my PayPal as well as in the chat here. Should you want to contribute to the adventure, all funds greatly needed and appreciated, so we would appreciate that. If you can't, that's okay. That's good too. It's all right. Anyhow, I'll have more for you tomorrow morning. We're going to